4 times pre-interview and twice post-interview. I got a first. I have no idea how I did it. Hi guys, welcome back, or welcome, as you might have guessed from the title and thumbnail. This is going to be my story of how I got rejected from medical school 7 times. Yes, 7. I got rejected 4 times pre-interview and twice post-interview. You know, 8th time's the charm, and I finally got my spot in an amazing medical school. So I'm just going to talk through kind of my first application cycle and then my second, and kind of my mindset around where I applied to and my kind of like standing in terms of my grades and my UKCAT, now UCAT. And yeah, I'll put some timestamps at the bottom in case you want to jump around. Please feel free to do that. I don't expect anyone to sit through this tangent, but you know, maybe someone else is experiencing the same thing and they just need to know that they're not in the same boat. So that's why I'm recording this, and yeah, enjoy. Just wanted to preface it by saying I know I can talk about it now with such a kind of casual demeanour, but it wasn't the case at the time. I was distraught pretty much every time. Just hang in there if you're going through the same thing, and thankfully I can laugh about it now that I've got my spot. It doesn't hurt as much. Anyway, let's get started. So, first application cycle, I was in 4th year of my degree. I studied neuroscience at Aberdeen. I was doing okay. I was getting pretty much consistent B's with a few A's and the odd C here and there. But yeah, I'd say B average. I was on track for a 2-1, which is good. I honestly thought I was working at my absolute hardest, and I know that medical schools don't ask for anything more than a 2-1 pretty much anywhere. So I thought, yeah, no, I'm good, I'm fine. However, my UKCAT score wasn't the best. So when I was preparing for the UCAT my first time around, I had spent the summer in Canada on this internship, and I had definitely done work for the UKCAT, but not nearly as much as I would have done if I was at home. And you know, I don't regret that at all, because I had such an incredible time in Canada, and you know, I met some amazing people who will be friends for life, I'm sure, and all that good stuff that comes along with travelling. But I know that I would have done better if I'd been at home. I don't remember the exact score, but I was like something like 60th, between 60th and 65th percentile, which is okay, definitely something I could apply with. So when I was preparing for the UCAT my first time around, I had spent the summer in Canada on this internship, and I had definitely done work for the UKCAT, but not nearly as much as I would have done if I was at home. And you know, I don't regret that at all, because I had such an incredible time in Canada, and you know, I met some amazing people who will be friends for life, I'm sure. You know, all that good stuff that comes along with travelling. But I know that I would have done better if I'd been at home. I knew that my stats weren't in as good a position as they could have been, and so I applied very tactically. I did all my due diligence, and I looked into what every university required. I called all the universities I was thinking of applying to and made sure that there was nothing different on their website, because I knew that if they were taking into account my higher grades from, you know, like high school, that I wouldn't stand a chance, basically. So basically I was just applying to places that I thought I had a chance of getting in. I applied to Aberdeen, Queen Mary, Barts, Queen's Belfast, which was so random and I would have hated to go just because I don't know Belfast at all. And my last choice was Aberdeen. And Aberdeen, you know, I'd done my undergrad in, so I knew really well. I knew a lot of the lecturers, I knew the medical school incredibly well. So in that cycle I got 2 pre-interview rejections and 2 post-interview rejections. Pre-interview were from Queen Mary and Queen's Belfast, and I was fine with it. And I got an interview for Manchester, which I actually really wanted to go to. That was my kind of pie in the sky application that year. And Aberdeen I did not really want to go to. I kind of built a bit of a reputation for myself as being someone who's always jumping about. I spent all my summers elsewhere. Aberdeen is a very, very small city in the middle of nowhere. The closest city is Dundee. It's an hour and a half away, and it is even smaller. And you know, 4 years in a city that small, you kind of get to a point where you know everyone, you've done everything. And you know, as much as I love it, I loved my 4 years there and I wouldn't change it for anything. The thought of spending another 5 there was not something that excited me in the slightest. Anyway, I got rejected from Manchester after my interview. You can watch my mistakes I made at my medical school interviews video if you want. It'll give you all the tea. I got rejected from Aberdeen post-interview, which I was actually very relieved about, because I knew myself and I knew I would probably take the offer if I was given it, and I would have resented not just waiting and trying again for somewhere I actually really wanted to go, you know, a new adventure. Yeah, so I was actually relieved that I didn't get into Aberdeen. Manchester, on the other hand, I was absolutely distraught about. It was almost like the day that I received my higher results all over again. Yeah, it was just a really unpleasant experience, to be honest. After all that, actually before my Aberdeen interview, I was in my last semester of university. I was doing my dissertation. So at Aberdeen, if you do a medical sciences degree, you spend your entire last semester doing a dissertation project. I was doing a lab-based project in the anatomy department, so in the medical school, and my dad had a huge cardiac arrest, ironically at the gym, and I think for a period of time, like a couple of months, I was just thinking, like, why would I want to go back to uni for 5 years when I've just done 4? I'm gonna spend my whole like youth as a student, you know, and then be treated not the best. So I thought, okay, well, next summer I've got more time. I didn't really. I spent the summer in America back at my summer camp, but I left more time after I came back to get ready for the UCAT. I did a little bit better. I don't remember exactly how well. I think I was around the 80th decile. I was between like the 80th and 85th decile. I think like 82nd percentile or something. Against all the odds, my dad having a cardiac arrest, also lost my grandfather 2 days before my first exam. I got a first. I have no idea how I did it. Maybe the lecturers took pity on me, I have no idea. Yeah, so my stats were a lot better than the last year. So I finished university and I thought I'll just see what's out there. So I started a corporate job teaching workshops to people. So that was my like gap year thing, and I was really enjoying it. They were like sending me to all these different places. I was traveling a lot. I was working with clients. I was on client sites, and I was in Edinburgh most of the time where we were based. And at that point I knew that medicine was still something I wanted to do. I was just kind of, why do I want to jump into it so quickly when I could spend another year adulting, traveling the world, having money to save? My attitude was, if I'm gonna apply for deferred entry, which I knew I wanted to do because I wanted to spend another year adulting, living this corporate life, having money come in and actually being able to save it and put it away and, you know, spend it as well, you know, have a great time and travel the world and have time in the evenings to cook meals and do whatever I wanted to do. And if I was going to be deferring, then why not apply to universities that I really want to go to, and not just the universities I think I've got the best chance of getting into. So with that, I applied to King's for the 4-year course, Queen Mary for the 4-year course, Manchester again, and Glasgow. And I thought Manchester, there's no reason I wouldn't get an interview. I've got better stats than last year, and I got one last year. And I had phoned them to make sure they accepted applications for people that had gotten to interview and hadn't gotten a spot. They were like, yeah, of course, yeah, that's great. And I got 3 pre-interview rejections from the King's and the Queen Mary graduate entry courses, and from Manchester. I did not understand what happened in Manchester, but I asked them about it and they said that they'd had to change their kind of entry requirements, and they were looking at your high school grades even if you had a degree, which I find bonkers, to be honest, to this day, that 16-year-old me is still holding back 21-year-old me with a first class degree in neuroscience, but you know, whatever, that's the system. But I got an interview for Glasgow. I very almost wasn't able to go to that interview, and it's a long story. It's actually a really funny story, so you know, if you want to know about it, let me know. But yeah, no, I got an offer for Glasgow in the end, and that was my saving grace. I'm very excited to go to Glasgow. It's an incredible uni, love the city, love being close to my friends and family. The course is just like, couldn't be more perfect for me. Subscribe if you want to see what it's like when I actually get there, and we'll see if it lives up to that. But so yeah, that's the story of how I got into medical school after 2 attempts and 7 rejections. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed my oversharing, and yeah, and I'll see you in the next one.